Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live Show. Gonna get it going a little bit early here. I'm actually like 25 seconds early. I'm never early, so excited to get going into two games here. We'll see how it goes for these road teams after they're both up 1-0. Gonna be looking at the Nuggets Thunder. Gonna take a look at the Knicks and Celtics as well. Gonna get my guy Nate on here. Some of you guys might have seen him on thelines.com. He's gonna be joining us here. We have a show that we've been doing since forever now, 2020, 2019, whatever it was, that we started doing that show. So we've been doing that for a while. He's going to come on. Happy to get him on a live show. Now he's got time during the day for me. So going to have him come on too and talk about what he likes in this game. I already have some bets down. Hopefully you guys saw the video that I put out last night. I actually got it out pretty early yesterday. I stopped watching Cavs and Pacers for about 15 minutes. I was pissed. That's really why. I was just like, I'll go back and watch this later. I was pissed. Then they came back, and you're welcome for whoever had the money line bet alongside me with Indy, because I stopped watching, and that's why they started doing well. So we'll see how that works out for the Knicks and Celtics today, because I was watching all that Knicks game. That worked out for us. But let me see real quick. I'm going to get into the comments here, too. I know we got plenty of stuff to look at. I already gave my bets out, so I'm honestly just going to get into some props madness here and start looking at this stuff with you guys, because there's really no need for me to pontificate here about other stuff. If you guys have things you want to talk about with the games in general, I'm happy to. My overall look here for this let's start with the Celtics game, right? Let's start with the first one, since that's going to come out at 7 p.m. Eastern. A couple of things I'm looking at. Like, I think Tatum has a bounce back, but I think it's because he plays more intelligently. He had a ton of assists in this last game, so that's what I was looking at for him. So get that out the way. Like, I do think he scores. I think he gets the dimes as well. He had 17 potentials in this last game, and he continues to have pretty nice numbers against the Knicks now. I think his potential assists are at 13.6. So that's 2 more per game than he averaged on the season against this squad, just one of the playoff games. So I think he's going to keep finding, like, they shot, 25% from 3 in this last game. I don't think you want to bank on that again. So 17 potential assists should probably have been closer to 8 or 9 assists that they turned into. And we're still getting this at 5.5. So I parlayed it with the points. I still think he's going to get that. He's just going to keep having the ball in his hands the whole time. So just started right there with him, and just let you guys know that is something I already have on the card for that. But going to go through these comments real quick. What's up to the gang? Happy to have you all here, man. Appreciate that. I mean, look, hopefully the info I'm giving you, I know some people aren't always happy when the bets that I actually place don't hit. That's my money too. I'm not like, I mean, obviously I'm pissed too. But like people like Big Boy Stepper, come get the info that you need, make the bets for yourself. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's the crowd that we built here. So good to have y'all in here, man. Welcome to Exactly. Joey V's a Dubs fan. What's up, Daniel? Always good to have you in here too, man. Yeah, hope everybody's good for sure. Tumultuous times in the world, but when you come out and you see the Knicks win in Boston, all the road teams winning, maybe there's hope for the world and the underdogs. What's good, Matthew? This is my guy too. Happy to have you around, man. Samir's here. Corey, the brother-in-law. What's up, fam? He's in Portland, gonna make some money. Yeah, dude, you can get those bets down on a couple different books in Portland, from as opposed to where you normally live. So that's dope. Yeah, Tatum PRA. If you want to put the boards in there, just to finish the Tatum point, like, I'm a little bit worried about the boards. I know he had 16, and I was the one who said I don't like his boards in game 1. So if you want to bypass what I'm telling you right now, I was wrong in game 1. But I would say 17 rebound chances to get 16 rebounds. You want to bank on that continuing to be the case, go for it. But I would still say 17 rebounds rebound chances should probably turn into about 9-10 rebounds at the most. So if you think he's good for that, still great. 16 is an absurd number. I wouldn't be like going crazy over, but he might be the best rebounder out there, especially with KP. We're sort of uncertain about where he's at. So I like the PA for Tatum. The rebounds I don't feel the need to put that in there, but for sure. What's up? Yeah, appreciate that bet at your own risk. And my guy here, you like the double for Jay Hart, which I can understand. But I actually like the points more for him. I actually haven't put a bet down on him just yet. Hang on one sec. This dog is losing his mind. Dumbass dog. Anyway, Josh Hart, speaking of dogs, yeah, the boards, man, he went crazy. What were the rebound chances? 20 of them, had 5 offensive rebounds in this last game. So, I mean, whatever you want to do with the boards, I can understand. I'm still kind of on his points the way that I was in the first game. For those of y'all who tailed that one, it was 10.5 in the first game. Now it's 11.5. I still think this is like a 12, 13.5 point line that it should be for Josh Hart. The reason being, I mean, he took 9 shots in this last game. That's kind of what's scaring me a little bit, but the 9 shots, not quite what I want it to be at. Against this team, though, if you look at the games that he's played against them, if we look at the field goal attempts real quick, you go over to FGA. Where did those go? Right here. So on the season, he's at 9.9 shots per game. He's up to 11.8 per game versus this team. And the reason I like that in what I sort of attribute that to is that fact that Kristaps is guarding him, right? We talked about that in the episode I put out when I showed you guys the matchups for this game. Josh Hart has Kristaps on him so that Kristaps can sort of lay off the guy who's considered the worst shooter on the team. Definitely on the starting lineup without question. And so they leave him a little bit more open so that Kristaps can guard the rim, right? And then that's why they have Jay Tatum on Cat directly in the one-on-one matchup. So that's why I think he's going to keep getting those shots. He's going to have a guy that's sort of sagging off of him because he wants to guard the rim. So I haven't put the bet down for Jay Hart rebounds, but I think that's coming here in just a minute. It seemed like it might go back down to 10.5 as it was kind of waffling. So now it's just really good odds for the 11.5. We'll see if this moves at all. If it doesn't really move very much in the next hour or so, I'll probably get a bet down on the points for Jay Hart. Rebounds, if you at your own risk, like it's up and down. In the last 3, he's had good numbers: 18 rebound chances, 22 and 20. It is the playoffs. The last thing I'll say about Josh Hart rebounds, because obviously that's what you're looking at with the double for Hart. Cat was out basically last game. Like, how many minutes did he end up playing in this last one? 14 points, 31 minutes, including overtime, right, for Cat. So can he stay out of foul trouble? I don't know. But Cat not being on the floor was definitely huge for Josh Hart rebounds, right? He's not going to get quite as many when Cat is out there. Something to keep in mind. Plus, KP wasn't out there for the whole second half. That also definitely led to worse defensive rebounding for the Celtics. So I'm just a little bit nervous about the Hart rebounds for a couple of reasons, but I still think he's good for the points. So that's where I'm at with that dude. You're talking about fantasy points. Yeah, I think both of them are still going to fill up the stat sheet. SGA, yeah, I'll go over that stuff in a minute. Let me try to get through a couple of Celtics bets, but yeah, I think Tatum for sure. I think he's still going to do well with the assists, especially. So let's see. I'm going to come back. I'm going to star these bets that aren't Celtics bets and just try to run through as many of these Celtics bets as I can. Yeah, Drew Holiday is a bet that I've got. I don't even know if I need Zinger to sit. Drew Holiday gets the Jalen Brunson matchup. Hopefully you guys are checking out the episodes I put out the day before, because that is where you're going to get this info early. And that's what I was talking about with our boy Drew. He's back at 10.5, which is great. I think people bet him up to 11.5 for a minute, but he's at 10.5. It's just 1 point up from what he was at last game. Happy to take him last game. Took 14 shots, right? 7 threes. He took I think it was 6 shots in the paint. Yeah, it took 3 wide open shots and then had 6 attempts inside the paint. So he's going to look to keep trying to get Brunson in foul trouble. He's going to look to keep getting shots and keep Brunson in the action. So Drew's not always the dude anymore just standing in the corner like he normally is when he plays with the starting 5. He's definitely the 5th option. But when Jalen Brunson is the guy guarding Drew, which he is in the matchup, then Drew comes in, sets some screens. He gets some screens set for him. He's a lot more involved because they want to keep Brunson in the action to tire him out, and because he sucks on defense. And he had 3 fouls in the first half. That's a big reason why, right? They keep getting him involved. So, yes, my bad. But just glad to have you, bro. I was thinking about you when Peyton Watson went 1 for 1, and you hit that. It was nice. It was like plus 200, so that's great. But he couldn't even get you your ladder because he didn't even take another damn attempt. I think Denver is going to keep this six man, a little 7 with Peyton Watson, but it's really Russ and P. Watt that are coming off the bench, and Russ getting most of the minutes there, like 30. But I'm glad you cashed, my G. That's good. Let me see real quick. What's up, Carlos King? Yeah, we definitely got to talk about SGA. I think someone else brought him up, and I'm going to go ahead and star that so we can get to that him in that game when we get to it here in a second. This is interesting. Bro, Cat is so low. Was he 17.5? Did it go up to 18? Yeah, so it's 18.5 now. I think other people were thinking the same thing, where I looked at Cat and when it was 17.5 points, and I was like, damn, dude, like, this is the classic buy low moment. You're not going to get too many games with Karl-Anthony Towns at 17.5. He had 14 in 31 minutes. He had an awful game. He's lost on defense, and yet he's still going to play as many minutes as he can without if he doesn't get into foul trouble. I don't know what to tell you about the fouls. I watch this man and his fouls, and I'm just like, this is unnecessary, Carl. Like, this is all just unnecessary. I do not understand why you're fouling right here. I mean, we could go back and watch them. We don't even need to. So the point is like, it's not like it's like, oh man, he had to foul there. Oh, that was tough. KP put him in a tough spot or whatever. It's just like, no, you're just stupid. He just comes over and helps and knocks the guy out of bounds or just slaps at shit. So I would love to say this is a perfect buy low spot. It definitely is. This is a 24 point per game a night guy during the regular season, even in the playoffs, right? He's still, before he got to this series, 18.9. Depends on what you believe in, man. I mean, most of these games he's got foul trouble. So it's just like, I don't see the benefit in betting on Cat other than if you believe in this buy low moment for him, he might only need 30 minutes to get 19 points. So, yeah, I can see the Cat thing. I'm probably staying away from it, though. Let's see if we got anything else in here I want to look at. RA for Tatum. Yeah, Tatum's everybody talking about Tatum. I'll just do one more time. Tatum, I like on the points and the dimes. Ton of potential assists. The rebounds, go for it. I'm staying away from the rebounds right now and don't think that this is a great matchup for them. If he is guarding Cat, which that's the other out here for why I don't like rebounds for Tatum. He didn't guard Cat very much last game because Cat couldn't play very much last game. But when he's guarding Cat, it's a terrible matchup for him. And that's why he's gone under in the boards against this team pretty consistently, despite them shooting horribly against the Celtics consistently. So game one without Kristaps, 23 rebound chances. Then in this one, 39 minutes, Kristaps is in, which is weird. Normally I say he's better on the boards with Kristaps. 23 in this one, 13 in that one. So, well, I guess they won by 31. I don't know. The rebounds scare me, but maybe my eyes are just wrong when I'm watching it, and we'll see. I'm staying away from the boards on this one more time because if Cat does manage to stay out there, then that might prove that this is a bad bet for him in this series. So that's kind of where I'm at for his boards, but I like the PA for sure. If you are someone who signed up for one of the sports books that's listed in the description of the video, they're also just scrolling underneath me. DM me on Twitter or Discord. That's the best way to get a hold of me, at JL Boogie. I'm still professionalizing this with the email. I do have that. I just haven't even gotten it going. And I pretty much just wake up, do betting, and then do more, and then go to bed. So anyway, that's how to get a hold of me. If you guys are somebody who hit me up about a screenshot, because that's how you get into the VIP for a free month, go ahead and hit me at JL Boogie on Twitter or Discord. That's going to be the best way to do it. So let's see. This is one that's interesting. We haven't gotten to that yet. Also, let me finish the PWAT point with my boy. Yeah, I agree. And I think here's my thing with PWAT. What I was telling you last, I thought he was great in the Clippers series. I thought they would have brought him out and played him a ton more, and they didn't. And that's what scared me off of it. Kind of like Moses Moody for the Warriors. I look at Moses, I'm like, this dude's like 6'6". Like, he should be the answer to the Dubs perimeter defense, and he doesn't give up much on offense. And yet, like, Moses sucks. And that's kind of where I'm at with PY right now, is they won't even play him as soon as he starts to show that he sucks, not getting quite the minutes. So that's where I'm at with that one. Let me get my boy in here. Nate, what's good, man? Let's get you up on the stage.
Hey, what up, Josh?
How you feeling, man? Wait, that's not it. Let's get you right. There we go. Yow.
Hey,
what it is?
Happy betting.
Happy betting, man. This is my guy I was telling you about. First time on the show, though. Happy to have you on here, man. I was telling you, everybody, we've been doing another show forever with thelines.com. Had one that we did earlier, or for today. So if you guys checking those out as well. But we're talking Boston, New York still. And most of the questions I'm getting in the comments are, what's good with Jason Tatum? I like him on the points and the assists. I think you would like him for at least like 8 boards as well, right? But did you want to throw a quick Tatum dissertation at us?
I mean, yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough to say. I think you maybe want to throw the whole portfolio in there because you don't know where he's going to spike necessarily. I think he's good for about 25 and 8 from a points rebounds perspective. I think he's going to be playmaking. I think the Celtics are going to be hitting threes. Those potential assists will be coming home. I mean, I also look at the head-to-head market and him to he's like plus 1.5 to out rebound Cat. And I mean, yeah, we're just looking at a guy who's second in the playoffs in rebound chance rate in Tatum. and
Mhm.
Cat, who can't stay on the floor and can't guard anybody and is getting switched out on the perimeter and then is out of position to rebound. So if that's a way you want to play the rebounds, yeah, there it is on DraftKings, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it's maybe down to even by now. Yep. Yeah, but
Yep.
it was plus 1.5. And I was like,
Wow.
why is Tatum the underdog here?
Right.
Right. I mean, yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
and the weird thing is like Carl's points are at like 18 and a half, which is super low for a 24 a night guy, although he is at about 18 and a half in the playoffs. But my point is like if you have his points listed super low, then why are his rebounds still so high? It's not kind of seems like I guess he already is at 10 and a half. Tatum's at 9.5 at this point. So you do kind of have to see like Tatum's basically, you might as well take the money line, I would say, for him to have one more if you want at plus money. But for him, if they tie, I guess then the minus 105 covers it. But I do like these head-to-head markets in the playoffs. They're available on a good amount of books now, which is nice. Not just DraftKings, who kind of started this deal. So I can see that. As just finishing the point on Carl, then like, I was telling everybody, I don't know how to tell you how to bet on Cat because all the fouls that he fouls with, you're like, that was unnecessary. That you just didn't have to do that. You didn't benefit the team with that foul in any way. So if he's going to keep being that way, I mean, I don't know. I can't get next to it. So would you even touch this? And if you did, would it be over or under on anything for Cat?
no, I don't. I don't want to bet on Carl Anthony Towns up, down, sideways. I like I said, I bet the head-to-head market because I think it gives you multiple outs
Yeah.
based on how he's being, attacked defensively, based on him getting into foul trouble, him scoring more than he's rebounding. But I
Yeah.
don't. I don't know where he's going to go in the playoffs at this point. He's one of the most
Facts.
erratic playoff performers we've seen in the last 5 years.
Facts. Yep. Let's do this. I know we got a lot of stuff in the comments, y'all. I'm gonna try to get to you guys as much as I can, but we might as well just like give the quick hitter stuff for each guy and kind of go down the line a sec because I do have questions about each one that I'd love your opinions on. So like Jaylen Brown is another. I'm actually staying away. I know he took the requisite shots to be like, okay, he was involved. He took 20 shots in this last game, got to the line 10 times, went 1 for 10 from 3. So even like a slight uptick to the norm for him, even if he's shooting 30% from 3, he's going to make 2 more of them, 6 more points. I'm certainly not looking to fade JB, but last year we went into the games. I called it in both Eastern Conference Finals and in the finals. I said, I know Tatum's the guy, but Jaylen Brown looks like the guy that's going to have the best matchups in some of these series. And I just am not seeing that from him anymore. He seems really conservative. I'm staying away from him pretty much this whole series until he shows me something else, but I can see the value on the points based on this last game. If he plays similarly, but just slightly better, you're likely to keep going over.
Yeah, I mean, looked at like Tatum 25 and Brown 20. And for a lot of other teams, that would be a smash, right? I mean, because it gets you to plus money already. And you're like top two guys to get that in a down 1-0 playoff series. The Celtics are balanced enough, though, that one of those guys could fall below 20 and they could still win by 20. Like we've seen that before. But I kind of trust it. Like I kind of trust both of them to score 20. I trust Jaylen to bounce back. To figure out more like late in the game, just him getting Cat switched onto him and then not knowing what to do. Like they're going to be more prepared for those different like wrinkles that the Knicks defense throw at them, right? And Jaylen, I talked about being a good home road splits guy in the playoffs. I think he's a good bounce back candidate, and he is really a point mercenary. Like he was letting Tatum do all the rebounding. So I think if you touch it, it's just for the points around 20. And hope that he bounces back.
Yeah, I'm kind of talking myself into it, but then the next question I have in my head goes right to not Derek White. I think Derek White's going to Derek White no matter what. Like it doesn't really matter who's out there. His importance only goes up when guys go out, but he's still the third most important guy in the offense at times, especially with KP out. But let's move to KP instead of even talking about D White because he's now at 14.5 points, which tells me that somebody knows something that he's not fully healthy, even though he's probable, and that we shouldn't expect 30 minutes from KP in this game. There's no way you have him for 30 minutes if you have him at 14.5 points, right? So I don't know. I like that transitions from the Jaylen Brown conversation because I'm going, well, did JB see a bit more usage in this last one with 20 shots because KP didn't see the floor in the second half? How much does he impact those things? Because I think he's more important to the offense than people might be really giving him credit for.
Yeah, but I think like him spacing the way he does with this as like a super stretch 5 is pretty helpful for Jaylen Brown. Like I don't think that Porzingis being in there like his efficiency should go up and Brown's volume should go down. But that was the issue was efficiency, right? He was 6 for 18
Right.
towards the end of that game. And you were just like, yeah, I mean, the opportunities were there. He should have 21 by now, but he was missing.
Yeah.
And he was more of a 3-point shooter because there was no KP out there. But that, like, it's sort of like an inverted situation where like Jaylen Brown is your guy going on the inside and your center is the guy stretching the floor. So,
fair.
I mean, the Porzingis market, yeah, it's really just like books are like, do you have the guts here to go 15 plus points? Because he didn't even finish the first half. It's like it's a mystery illness. We have no idea if he's going to be able to stay out there.
Right.
But I mean, certainly value if you're willing to take that chance.
Right. And then that's the last point that I'll make about KP, which is something I try to tell people on the show is like, okay, yes, this is at 14.5, but you have to know where this opened at to know what the action was on it. And clearly, without really any new news, which I'm just going to go to Twitter real quick to make sure I'm not missing anything, but without any new news about Kristaps, then the only thing that would really move the line would be that people are betting it down, right? So if people are betting this down from 17.5 and you're looking at this going, well, now it's got value. Okay, but keep in mind that there might be something you don't know that pushed it down in the first place. And even 14.5 might not be viable because of that. So that's why I'm like, yes, this looks nice right now, but you have to know that this got pushed down by people who definitely knew what they were talking about enough to feel confident to hit it with as much as they did or what have you, right? Or, right, like some dude who has like 200,000 followers on some channel put out the bet under Kristaps or something. That could also be what happened. But either way, so I'm assuming somebody knows something. So, and then I did bet on Derek White just to close out the Celtics players because I don't really have anything for their backups. I bet on his threes in this one. Like I can't ignore 16 attempts, and I still got plus money when I hit this for plus 105 for him to hit 4. He's hit 4 in every game against this team this season. He's averaging 10.2 attempts, but there's a couple games where he took like 7 and 6, and I would say that was pretty low for him. They were smacking the crap out of him, and he only played 25 in one of them. So I still believe in D. White. I don't think he takes less than 10, and I'll take plus money for him to hit 40% of them exactly. But any thoughts on that, man?
No, full endorsement. Yeah, D. White, I mean, he's the one guy who I don't think is like going to be responsible for any sort of shooting slump. He's, open, close, stepping on your toes. He's letting it go, and he's pretty consistent. No matter what, even though the Celtics, they missed all those open shots last game. I don't think that's really going to face him this time.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. Any thoughts on any of the other stats for him, assists and rebounds? We've been talking mostly points and threes, but I know people are often asking me about D. White assists and rebounds. And my take is really, I don't know what to do with them. I know he went crazy on the rebound chances. He's responsible for Bridges, right? That's his matchup the whole game. So there's no like advantage on the boards in my opinion. And the assist for him is really just like if he's in the right spot to swing it around the horn and keep it moving, but he's usually the guy that pulls up when the ball's swinging around the horn like that. So I don't really like any of the other stuff for him.
He seemed to be in the mix for a lot of rebounds down the stretch for whatever reason. And I don't think the Celtics necessarily want that, but he will step up and sky for those. So I mean, it's just such a small number, usually 8.5, 9.5, that it's not a lot of variance, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of a risky play one way or another. But he does seem to board up as well in these playoff games.
Yeah. I guess in the playoffs in a whole, I didn't notice those specifically, but in playoffs as you get down to the crunch time anyway. But let's close out with the Knicks real quick before we move on to the last game and probably get out of here pretty soon after that one anyway. So I do like Brunson. I took him in this one. I took him for the points over, the assists under, and I feel great about it. And I also took it with the Boston money line because I'm a glutton for punishment. I hate putting the Boston money line and stuff, but it juiced the odds up for so good for him when I added it to some of his overs and stuff. I hate rooting for it because now I have to root for them to win. And if it's close down the stretch, I don't want that, but I couldn't get away from plus 300 for him to go over points, under assists, and Boston to win.
Y'all already got the moral victory. I mean, the Knicks are not winning this game tonight. Okay, come on. I agree. They could certainly, like, let's not talk uncertainties, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Celtics in 6 or 5 here. That was probably the least alarming of the home teams to drop a game, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, like, the most missed threes in history in one game. So
Yep.
Yeah, I have no problem adding the Celtics money line. In this particular one, somebody's calling out your Knicks fandom, but
I know.
I mean, he's also a fan of 3-1 on your money.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was telling people the VIP is like, bro, I love watching my childhood team win, but I don't know. I like feeding my family more and like having some nice things and all that. So I like my money a little bit more. But yeah, and so for the assist, it's like to me, it's an easy under. I agree. We stole that. I wouldn't be the least bit shocked that we lose in 5. I say we because I support this team, so I get to say that. But yeah, I can't get there with it because of the way that they won. It was just like I could name you 3 different things that could change, that could shift from abnormal as they were in this last game to just slightly more normal, like the 3-point disparity, all that kind of stuff. Now, look, the Knicks have some outs, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, we'll close out the game with this because I did take, let me say this. I took Brunson on the points, under on the assists. I like Josh Hart on the points, but I left the rebounds alone. And that's all I took. But I'm down to talk about these last guys before any kind of like final solution on the game. Is there one that you'd want to go to between like Cat, OG, McHale, any of these guys?
I'm curious why you left the rebounds out for Hart. I mean, for the Knicks, my favorite picks would be Brunson threes and probably Hart points and rebounds.
PR. Yeah, I'll tell you why the rebounds. I was saying this earlier to folks at the very, very start of the show. The points I like, and you know why. Hopefully, like I like them because of the fact that Kristaps is guarding him, or at times Papa Al might be guarding him. And as a result, we see guys sagging off of him, and so he gets more open shots. He's taking a ton more shots against this team, like 2 more per game on the against them in the 5 he played against them. Taking 2 more shots per game than his season averages. And that, again, includes that first game of the season where they got blown the hell out and he only played the 25 minutes and only took 6 shots. So he's basically taking like 14 to 15 shots a game against them. Took 14 in this last game right here, or 9, excuse me. We got to the line 6 times, right? So it came out to about 13 shots that he took overall and then got fouled. 1 for 5 from 3, so I can still get there with the points. The only thing about the boards here is, look, like I can't argue the last 3. He's averaging 20 rebound chances a game against them, and I do like him to get 10 boards for plus money, especially if you can get it for him to get 20 rebound chances. Yeah, 10 boards plus money makes sense. The thing that keeps me away from it is like the outs of the way that this doesn't work out is he doesn't get 5 offensive rebounds because maybe if Kristaps is out there for more, they've got another 7-footer out there. If Cat is out there, he's also standing in the way of some of these offensive rebounds, and he was only out there for 31 minutes in the last game. So there's a couple things that sort of scare me off of it. Also, if the Celtics don't miss, a record 45 threes, are there as many chances available? So I could just see this going wrong, and I just felt much more certain about the points, and I didn't feel the need to add the boards, but I'm not fading them. I'll say that.
Very fair. Well explained.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he does have a center on him, though, he is too quick for those guys in the sense of like the offensive rebounds are not an outlier. Like he is maybe the best. He is the best offensive rebounder under 6'6" in the league in a long time. So
he's in the top 5 in the league, in my opinion, maybe top 10, let's say, to be fair and avoid controversy. And he's not even the best offensive rebounder on his team, because the best offensive rebounder in the league is on his team. He just can't stay on the floor if he can't make a freaking free throw. And that's Mitchell Robinson, who is the reason that this Knicks team dominated the boards the way they did last year. Was like, if Brunson misses, Mitch Rob will clean it up and just kick it right back out. But I think you can play him. This is where I kind of want to say about Mitch Rob. I think you can play him. And Kyle Kerms, I was on his show last night, made an awesome point that I was thinking as well, which is just play him in the first 5-7 minutes of each quarter. Just get yourselves into the bonus with 6 minutes to go in the corner, if that's what they want to do. Eat the fact that he'll go 30% from the line and you won't get as many points, but you will get a lot of offensive rebounds if they let him stay out there, and you'll get most of the defensive rebounds if they let him stay out there. So I think he should be out there for another 20. How that impacts things, I don't know, except for, again, another reason, if I like Mitchell Robinson minutes, I wouldn't necessarily go to Hart rebounds. But let's say two quick things here. Anunoby, McHale. McHale, I think you're getting a great price. I know he had 8 points against this team. 13.5 points is ridiculous for a guy who averaged 17 on the season. Not a great matchup, but dude played 51 minutes in a basketball game. If you wanted to buy low spot, it would be this one for McHale. That's my take there. And OG is playing beyond anything we've ever seen from him. But goddamn, if it hasn't been for 24 games now, like I can't really, is this just the new OG? Because if I use past numbers for this dude, I don't see him as, consistently being able to do this against the Celtics, who that was the first good game he had against them on the season. So anything that you want to respond with for the OG or Mikal stuff, I'm here for it.
Yeah, respect OG. Not going to fade him. Probably not going to chase it either. Mikal, I do think the way he finished that game will definitely give him confidence going into this one. And I mean, he played confidently. He didn't shoot well, but I think that could carry over to him actually hitting some shots here. I mean, what's his market for threes? Is it still just 2 threes for like plus money here?
No, now you got to take it for really big. So it's like, yeah, it's probably gonna be like almost minus 190 or whatever. If you actually want to play an alt line for 2.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're on to us.
Yeah.
What if he takes 10 of them though? I mean, the thing is, he took 5, 6, 4, and then he just took 11. So that's really what it comes down to. It's like, yeah, because these threes are starting to talk to me as well. I'm starting to become a big sucker for like big plus money on the threes when you're like, it's only got to make 2 of them, like, but now 3.
We talking about OG or Mikal? Because didn't Mikal only hit 1 3 last game?
Oh, I was talking about OG. Were you back on Mikal?
Yeah,
That's my bad. Mikal's
yeah,
threes are definitely still 1.5. Yeah.
yeah. No, that
Gotcha.
I think there's value on. Yeah, I wouldn't chase the huge offensive output from OG,
Right.
but I think Mikal can have like a bit of a carryover from how he finished the last
Interesting.
game.
Yeah. He should be probably reasonably expected to take 6 of them, right? Like, I mean, there's a couple games here where he got minutes. Mikal always plays like the whole game, no matter what. But yeah, when they lost by 27, he didn't get it, and every other time he's getting it.
And that
5 of them.
Brunson's gonna draw help, right? He's there.
Yeah,
The Celtics are gonna bend a little bit more on that, and when
little bit.
Brunson gets more assists, Mikal hits more threes.
Yep. And that's a big part of why I'm also not banking on spot up shooters for the Knicks is like, I don't think they're going to double him yet. I think if he kills him this game and it's too close, maybe they consider it. But if they win this game by 20, 25, even 15, and Brunson does Brunson things like we expect him to, which is score and not pass, then I don't know that they necessarily switch up the defense at any point against Brunson. But all right, let me just make sure we didn't miss anything. Our guy Daft is in here hating on the Knicks love that we've got going on. Sorry about you, bro. But we also have a couple other things I want to make sure.
They're definitely going to lose, basically.
Well, yeah, you think that. I'm glazing the Knicks. Also, I'm just going to say this real quick because I'm hoping to help Daft out a little bit. For everybody who's like, where's Daft been? Just been taking care of life stuff if you didn't know, but he's coming back to make content really soon. And he's still giving out winners out there in the winnable that he has if you guys are interested. So, all right, let's keep it rolling to the other game because I definitely want to touch on this other one. Go ahead and make sure that you do give that video a like. I'm going to get your video went out for a second. It's fine. Like I said, give that video a like. Goes a super long way, so much appreciated. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm using Props Madness. This is the platform that we're using to show you guys everything. If you have any questions about it, definitely jump in the comments. Let me know. Use code LYB if you want to sign up for that shit so that you can go ahead and get 25% off on your first month. You can also use it to trial it out for 7 days. See if you like it before you get it. And this code should be working for the VIP. That's linked in the description of the video. WAP was on one like last night and this morning, but I think all the bugs are fixed. So if you use code Davion, once again, 50% off. We should probably change this to Nemhard. I don't know why this wouldn't be Nemby now that Nemby's back and just winning money all over the place. We need to start adding his assists too. I love you, Nemhard. If you're watching, you're my actual boy. All right.
Well, probably because it's also an acronym for "not in my backyard." So
right, NIMBY. I forgot about that. Oh, some old white people stuff. All right, let's see. Let's get into OKC and Denver. Everybody asking about Shai. Do you have a Shai take? I can't. I look at 33.5 points and I'm like, oh
man, this game in general, like I can just bow out if you want, man, because I do not have picks for this game right now. Except Caruso, for sure, which is where I went and fading the Nuggets offense a little bit. Shai, I think
I won't. Yeah, let me just be clear. I'm gonna go to the stuff you want to talk about. If you have a quick hitter on SGA, let me know, and we'll move on.
What's his rebounds and assists at? Because he had 17 in that first game. I think Nuggets will continue to try to make him more of a playmaker, make other guys make plays.
21 potential assists in this last game and 18 rebound chances. Sheesh. Right. Yeah, he's sagging off of CB, right? Off of Christian Brown.
So yeah, you can go that way, and I think like a double double would give you 2 outs in that regard because he almost had double digit assist. He almost had a triple double last time out.
Right, right. Yeah, he definitely. I mean, and look, this is why we like. I mean, this is why I also agree. Caruso is a good bet, and the shooters off of this, like a Caruso and Lou Dort. I like both of them to keep being the guys that Denver helps off of, right? And it helps on to SGA, even not really on to J Dub because my new favorite player, well, one of my top 5 favorite players now, Aaron Gordon, is just locking this man up. But more importantly, like yeah, SGA assists continue to seem like a good play because they're not going to leave Brown on an island against him the way that they were a little bit more willing to against Harden, because it's as good as Harden is at what he does, he has fewer things to take away than SGA does. SGA can beat you in more ways than Harden, especially at this point in their careers, what I mean more than anything. So that is why I agree with you. The assists and even the boards to like, so the rebounds and assists are 12.5. And that's what he's at in the playoffs. And what was he in the regular season? 11.4. But like, what, he's not going to play fewer than what did he play in this last 4? I mean, he can't play fewer than 40. So is this what you would do if you were going to do anything for SGA? It would be RA if you're going to go over.
Yeah, or maybe assists in particular. Like Denver was the worst assist defense in the league during the regular season, right? But I mean, they've been better in the playoffs. But
Sure.
like, yeah, I think they'd rather make him a playmaker than let him go for 30, 35
Agreed.
every time.
Yep. And so as we get into like Dort and Caruso, the reason I was saying I like them more than any of the other guys, like both of them don't give anything up on defense. In fact, Caruso probably your best defender. You could put it between he and Dort. I might actually rather have Caruso, but then Kayson, awesome, but giving up too much on offense as he's shown in the playoffs now for 2 seasons in a row. Wiggins, spotty, but just not the same defender. And Isaiah Joe, just honestly not much for the playoffs when it's a real game. It is a little bit more of a front running kind of player, to be honest. So I agree. I took Caruso for 10 plus and got it for plus 140 on the points. I wouldn't tell anybody not to take the PRA either. I really like what I've seen here in the playoffs in the last 4 games from him, where they really started giving him the minutes. Whereas in game 1, that was a 51-point victory. They were like, it's fine. We don't need you, Alex. And then in the next couple games, right, they 22 minutes, 23, 26, and 26. And I think he can't really dip below 25, 26 anymore, the way that he's able to D up. And honestly, Chet played 27 minutes. Like, you don't have to worry about Chet's not going to be in there for 34 and just guarantee that unless he's showing really, really good stuff early. So, yeah, that's the only thing I liked for the Thunder. I'll take a look at some of your guys' comments here in just a minute, and we'll let Nate dip out in a minute if he wants. But the Thunder, the Nuggets, I do love Aaron Gordon in this game, and I'll just start there and see what you think. I think we talked about this on our show, but like Ago on the rebounds, man, head to head against this team now. 14 on 22 rebound chances. He had 3 rebound chances in 7 minutes before he got hurt in this game. And then in the first game of the season, 33 minutes, which is low, and still had 14 rebound chances. You go back to last season. Sure, they're a bit better rebounding this year, but I mean, he's still a better rebounder than Chet. That's for damn sure. 26 rebound chances and 16. One of them without Jokic. But when he's at 30 plus minutes against this team, he's at about 19, 18 rebound chances and looking at an average of about 11.4 boards. So I got the double-double for plus 470 for a little sprinkle. And then I laddered the board 6.5, took 8.5 as well, since he really doesn't get fewer than 9 when he plays 30 minutes against them. Any Ago thoughts?
I like rebounds because I do think this game trends under. Talked about the Nuggets historic, and I mean the last 6 series they have gone like 99 points per game in game 2. And I mean, regardless of that trend, like we're talking about a Thunder team now that pretty much shut them down in the first half, then fell apart in like an outlier second half. And what's going to happen now? Like they're going to bounce back. They're going to probably get up big in the first half and then probably just keep the screws down defensively. So I see this as being a lower scoring game for sure, with more rebounding opportunities, which is why, yeah, I would not be chasing points for Nuggets guys.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. The only guy I only played points for was Russ. I can't get away from him. I mean, maybe Props Madness is actually not helpful because it's just so much green for him. But man, like he played 30 in this last one. Let's say he plays like, and I'm using a minutes filter here. Let's say he plays sort of within a range of 26 to 30. So it's more of an average of 28 minutes. Still 15 a game, man. And I'm not really trying to mess with the assists, although those look good. the assists, he's never really in position to then like go forward and have other guys open. Like he's the guy that's left open, right? So that's why I don't like the assists as much. He'll get some corner threes. He'll get some fast break. He'll be the one guys doing it. But I couldn't get there with anything else. But I took on the points. Any disagreement with that for us?
Nope. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, you see sophisticated defenses be like, we want Russell Westbrook to score 15 points, basically, as like a high volume shooter. And I think the Thunder will be more than happy to just like leave him open and maybe hope that his first couple go down and then he's just going to like try to take over.
I know sometimes that's the worst thing that can happen for a guy like Russ. This is an inside joke, but it's basically Lenny Cologne, where we grew up with, where you're like, damn, if he makes his first two, no one else is seeing the ball for the rest of this game. That's kind of Russ sometimes. But look, if there's one man in the world, in the history of the world, that can keep him in check, I would assume it's Nikola Jokic, as Russ has looked really good this year. So, and the last guy I took an over on here, I did go over on my guy and the PRA, 20.5 for CB. Like he's coming with it. He's got that in all of these games. I thought it was really impressive too in the first one, despite 29 minutes, still got there. Decent shooting, but he's taking shots because he's also the guy that the Thunder will leave open on purpose a bit more than anybody else. And then the RA for him is just continues to be a wagon. The assists you might want to leave out. I get it, but like the potentials in this game weren't bad. It was 6. I guess they're not great. I still took all of it because I was like, if he's out there for the 40 plus minutes that he's going to keep playing, he's just going to keep soaking all this up. So he sort of seems like he's not scared anymore. It's a big part of this in the playoffs, right? Like the first couple games were putrid. Really started to come along here in the last like 4 or 5 games. So I think his confidence is building and he's going to keep playing pretty well.
God bless. Good luck, Nuggets.
Yeah, God bless. I think that's where we disagree. I'll jump in the comments after this one because I don't need to like run through too much that I've got. But like, I think that's where we might disagree, is that I don't think, even if the Nuggets, if the Thunder come out to a lead, I don't think this is a 20-point loss for the Bugs here. Like, I do think they have the ability with Jokic, with Gordon, to just pound the glass in a way that they can actually like use that advantage enough to keep it really, really close. I would be taking them like plus 10.5 if that's at the end of the day.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, that was the sustainable thing we looked at for that game one, is like that the second chance points were not an outlier. Like the fast break points, Nuggets scoring off turnovers, turnover margin. Those are the types of things that are going to regress in OKC's favor, but they're just too light still with Hartenstein. Like that is the biggest issue with Gordon and Jokic down there, is that there is a size advantage that can keep them in this game. And yeah, they haven't really been a team that like picks and chooses their spot. It's like your Dubs sometimes and just says like, oh, we're going to punt this one because we're down 20. But that being said, they might not have much of a choice because OKC, they hadn't played a real game in months, right? Before the game one. Like, let's not forget, like, this isn't just like, oh, we don't have playoff experience. Like they were rusty in a clutch situation. So like, we'll see how they respond.
We will. And that's the final point I make there too, is I don't believe in playoff Kason Wallace, playoff Isaiah Joe, playoff Lou Dort a little bit, but these playoff young guys, like, I need to see it before I believe it, because I think they are the reason that they got bounced in the playoffs last season when nobody expected them to lose to Luka's squad. Why did they lose? Got worked on the boards, as we know, by like however many centers Dallas had last season, 5 of them. And then Dallas did what the Thunder do on defense, which is like, yo, just go ahead and go make that pass to the corner to Kason Wallace. He can have all the threes that he wants. Make that pass up on the wing to Isaiah Joe, a little bit off balance. Like, we're fine with that. So they're just not giving any great looks to anybody. They might be giving good looks to some guys, but it's who they want to shoot. I don't believe in those guys yet. So they're going to have to do that. Like, yeah, they're going to have to do that before I believe in them. That's why I'm part of the Caruso angle as well. So, all right, let me just get to this one. Like, I do see there's 2 I want to look at, and then I got a dip as well, which is iHeart. Would assume he would be more aggressive on the boards and assists, but Joker is still a monster, which is definitely true. What's iHeart's stuff at here? So he had the 12 points, which I do like. Obviously, like, Jokic doesn't really want to go out there and guard him, and he can hit a floater. 5 potential assists, and the rebounds, he had 9 on 16 chances. played 29 minutes. So I don't know how much I trust iHeart. Like, I don't know what to do with iHeart and Chet's minutes when they each played, there was multiple minutes that they were not even out there at the same time. So I guess I don't really quite know what to do with either of those guys, seeing if you had any kind of thoughts on them.
Well, if their strategy holds, right, iHeart's going to be on Jokic, Chet's going to come in and contest, and then that puts Hartenstein in better position to get boards than Holmgren, right? Which was kind of the opposite in that Memphis series. Chet was just swooping in on the weak side.
Right.
Hartenstein's minutes weren't as reliable. They were both kind of like in foul trouble, right? In this one. So I think all things being equal, Hartenstein's minutes should go up a little bit more. And then, that just with that comes the peripheral stats. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I don't really have a cap on the assists is the only reason I can't really speak to the RA as much as I agree with what you're saying on the boards. And he is responsible for Jokic, so he is going to be relatively close to the basket for a good amount of the game. But anything on the assist there for Hartenstein? I don't know if you have.
What I found, like, in general in the regular season, is he makes a lot of passes, but does not have a lot of potential assists out of them. Mm-hmm. Like, he's basically just like an elbow facilitator, like a traffic guard. Sometimes just like, all right, you get this, and then you go around and you make a play. And like, he's not the guy like dropping dimes, and those opportunities are gonna evaporate even more in the playoffs. Like, it's not that easy to just like throw a nice little bounce pass to a back cut and get an assist. So I think you might want to be wary with those.
Yep, I agree on that. And it's gonna be he might be the guy making the pass to the Kayson Wallaces that need to make a shot, and then you have to rely on that. And then Chet, I just don't think is built. This is not a great Chet series. So I'm not betting too many overs on this man. Definitely lean unders. You tell me if you think he looked ready for the moment against Denver in this game, missing those free throws at the end, as we know, etc. Owned by Gordon when he was out there. Gordon had like 6 points in a minute 40 of Chet being the primary defender on him if you look at the matchups there. So I'm off that guy as well. So I think we're good on this one. I definitely got stuff to do. I know you do. And then we'll be coming back with our show on the lines.com. So appreciate you jumping on, though, my man. We'll do it again soon.
Yes, sir. I'll catch you next time.
No doubt. All right, y'all. Best of luck tonight. Going to have that episode up for the game tomorrow. There's just one, right? The Dubs and the T-Wolves play tomorrow as the Cavs and Pacers are off. So I'll have an episode up for that. Definitely give this video a like before y'all jump out. It's much appreciated. A couple more reminders. If you want to jump in, code Davion is working again. The link is in the description of the video for the VIP, so you can jump in there and then get all of the picks that I'm making. And if you do want to get a free month, you can sign up for any of the sports books that are listed in the description of the video. They're also scrolling right underneath me there. Any of those that you don't have, just sign up. Use the code LYB. You'll get all of your little free discounts and all that. And then just send me that screenshot to show me you did it. I'll get you the free month. You can hit me at JLBoogie on Twitter or Discord, and you'll be good to go. So best of luck tonight. Until I see y'all next. Happy betting.